Hey, hey. We're on day 69. And I don't normally do bunches of videos back to back, but it has been, I don't know, a good way to put it. It's been a action-packed week. We'll just call that an action-packed week. And so I have a lot to talk about on my mind that I'm going to talk about. And today, I'm going to cut a little promo. And if you don't know what that means, well, once upon a time I used to be into professional wrestling and I was going to do that for a living. So cutting a promo means they put the mic in front of you and you start going off on some things. So we're going to discuss some things close and near and dear to my heart. Now, I am doing this in the middle of the day. So again, I have my poison Gatorade and not my coffee. And here in a minute, I'm going to tell you why I'm here during the day, not working. All right, so this is a two-part video. The first one is we're going to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this in the first place. Because, let me just be frank with you, every time I post something, I get kickback. I get a lot of kickback. And I'm just going to clarify some things on that. In the second part of this video, we're going to talk a little bit about just how life hits you harder than you're ever going to hit it, and you have to learn how to get back up. I'll lead into that one in a minute, but let's go back to why I do this. So I consciously post these videos up here, knowing that I'm a man. And I'm posting about my problems, basically, when you come down to it. And men aren't supposed to do that. When a man posts his problems, it's almost like an aberration. People wince. They go, oh, why are you doing that? Don't. You're supposed to just deal with it on your own, in silence, where I can't see. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's what we're brought up to do. And but then you get mixed signals because then we live in the world of where that's also supposed to be toxic masculinity. So, as a guy, what the fuck do you do? All right. Do you emote about it, or do you shut the fuck up and go off into the ditch somewhere and either deal with it or die? Like, who knows? We don't know what we're supposed to do. That's part of the problem. So let's talk about mental health in the United States today. Mental health in the United States today is horrible. It's horrifying, and we all talk about it on social media, everywhere else. All I see every day, literally every day, I'm going to see people talk about how we need to do something about the mental health problem in America. We need to do something about it. And yet, nobody does anything about it. They just talk about it on social media. I just did a video on flags. So they wave their little virtue flag saying, I care about mental health, but they don't do anything about it. Lots of that. I see lots of that every day. Okay, so I care about mental health problems. See my shirt? Do not give in to the war within. End veteran suicide. This is, I'll just give them a little shout out backwards on my camera. This is from the Valhalla Project, okay? And I believe strongly in a lot of their causes. And I believe strongly in their causes because, number one, I served in the military. So I know what that is. I've been deployed overseas away from my family. I have been terrified by potential conflict and dying in war. I did not see action, but we thought we were going to. And it was a scary time. And I have brothers who have seen action. And part of me is jealous that they have seen action. But they come home with something. You come home with something. And mental health isn't just a veteran's problem, but I feel strongly about it because I was a veteran and I have buried many people in my life from this. This is why I care about this. Because to me, suicide is a giant waste. I'll talk about that in a minute more. Mental health is a serious problem in the United States today. I would argue mental health is a serious problem in the Western world today. And a lot of that can be drilled down to our economy and how all we are is we're programmed from birth to consume. And that is it. We consume. And we consume and we consume and we consume for what? What are we getting out of it? Nothing. We have junk. Everywhere we have is junk. I have a lot of junk. When I moved to Arizona, I got rid of so much junk. And I will never do that again. I will never accumulate that again because it was just all consuming. And we have social media. Social media is supposed to bring us closer together. It's supposed to bring us closer together and let us communicate with anyone. Well, really, all I see social media does is divide people, number one. Number two, it's a bunch of selfies and shit like that. It's pretending that your life is great and a bunch of cat pictures and pictures of your food. And I can't say that I'm not totally, innocent from doing any of that. Of course I am. Why? Because social media is nothing more than an endorphin rush to get attention, to get likes, to get views. That's it. That's what social media is for. But social media could be used for so much more. We have the ability to literally communicate with the world. Now, granted, tech companies like to shadow ban the things that don't fit the narrative because we live in the world where you're not allowed to have wrong think. And if you do, they'll clamp down on that and cancel that shit right away. But we have the power and the ability with social media to actually reach out to people who are hurting. So why do I post about my problems? Why am I here posting about how am I getting through this engagement breaking up? How am I getting through all this when no one cares? Obviously, most people don't care. Let's drop some truth bars, guys. For men, most people don't care about your problems. I know most people don't care about my problems. When I consciously upload these videos, I know no one cares about those problems. And we've been going for 2 months at this point. I've got a whole 15 subscribers to this channel, and you get like 20 views or 30 views or something like that. Like literally no one gives a shit. And I understand that. I'm not here today for views and likes and echo chamber comments. I'm not. I'm in the wrong area. If I wanted to be a YouTube influencer superstar, I'm doing it wrong because I'm talking about something that no one cares about, and that's men's issues. Men's issues are my issues, to be specific. But the reason I'm talking about my issues is simply this. I have done this before, and I know that I will get through what I'm going through, but there are a lot of people who can't or don't know or don't have a guide, or they just don't know. There's no manual on how to do this at all. Okay? So suicide. I'm not allowed to use that word. So I've just been shadow banned by YouTube for using that word. It picked it up and said, no, you can't use that word. It triggers people. I've buried 15 people in my life that were my peers, not talking about older family members, 15 peers of mine. Of those 15 peers, 14 were men and 1 was a woman. Of those 15 peers, 5 died from cancer and 2 died from car accidents, which leaves the other 8 who died from self-deletion. They chose self-deletion, and the woman self-deleted as well, so she counts as part of that. And I've been to all the funerals, and I've watched them get put in the ground, and these are my peers. So these were people in their 30s and their 40s who still had a lot of life to give. They had almost all of them had children that they left behind because life's problems got to be a little too much, and they didn't really know what to do. And that's a waste. It's a significant waste. So that's why I'm here doing this. Okay? So when I post a video about let's recognize red flags in our relationships, and your immediate commentary is, dude, it's been 60 days. You should be over this by now. That's not even realistic or reasonable. It takes a month for every 2 months that you've been in a relationship for normal people. If you have the ability to distance yourself emotionally from everyone around you where something like this wouldn't bother you, I mean, good on you, right? That's great. That's great. I'm not that person. If I'm going to fall in love, I'm going to fall in love. And that's dangerous. And yes, I can be put in this position, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. I chose that, right? So I need you, if that's your opinion, if your opinion is that this should be something that you just go through for like 30 days or whatever, and then you're fine. I need you to take a step back and understand that that's not normal and that's not healthy. And people who say that oftentimes aren't really healed, and they're just cramming all that shit down, all that baggage and trauma down. And instead of dealing with it, they're putting all that trauma in. And maybe some people legit, that is a defense mechanism to, not feel so that you can't be hurt, which indicates you've been jacked up in the past. And hey, like I said, good on you. If that's your defense mechanism, I'm not here to talk shit about how you go through life. I'm not. But it's not normal. It's not healthy, in my opinion, for most people. And no, after 60 days, I'm not okay. I'm better. I'm not okay. Now, the second common thing that I get as a response, like I say, hey, what do you think about flags in a relationship? And the response is, you shouldn't be doing these videos. Guess what? I didn't ask you if you think I should do these videos. That wasn't my question. My question was flags in relationships. If you don't think I should do these videos, that's great. Don't watch them and don't comment. If I ask you, hey, do you think I should be posting these videos? Then I'll take your opinion into consideration. Because all I'm hearing is, no one cares, shut the fuck up, stop posting videos about it. That's what you're saying. You're contributing to the mental health problem all around us. And again, if you are an avoidant type person where you don't want to deal with problems and you'd rather bypass them, pretend they don't exist, go have fun, smoke weed, bang random chicks, all these things that people keep telling me to go do, I'm not here to judge you. And I'm not here to tell you that that's bad for you, because if that's how you've chosen to handle your problems, good on you, right? And if I'm your friend, which if I talk to you on social media, chances are I consider you at least some level of my friend, I will support that because that's what you want. And I'm not going to force you into how I do things. Now, how I do things is I don't avoid. Do you know why I don't avoid? Because when you avoid your problems, you're not getting rid of them. You think you're hiding from them. You think they may go away. You may not think about them for a while when you're banging random chicks, or you're off at a party getting drunk, or doing drugs, or whatever it is that you're doing to get your mind off of your current problems. Those problems are still there. They're still there in the morning. I know this because in my youth, in my 20s and 30s, guess what I used to do? That's right. I played in bands. I would go out, play music, bang random chicks, drink a lot of booze, forget my problems until the next morning when I woke up and those problems were still there and I hadn't solved anything. It just takes longer to resolve them because you're not addressing them. So what I do when I have a problem is I destroy it. I turn around and look at it and I destroy it. That's what I do. And that's what I'm here to show. Now, if that doesn't follow your philosophy, that's cool, man. I'm not flaming anybody. I'm not coming after you. I'm not chasing after you, berating you for what you do. All right? I don't. But here's how I look at these videos that I'm doing today. I feel very strongly about them. I feel very strongly about them not because I'm trying to get views and be an influencer with my 15 whole subscribers and my 20 to 30 whole views. It's not my motivation at all. What my motivation is this. Someday, 6 months from now, or 1 year from now, there's going to be a guy whose fiance leaves him for Chad. You can call him pathetic, you can call him a loser, because that's some of the stuff that I've heard. Well, your girl left you for Chad, fucking deal with it and move on. Right, I get it. I get the hardcore, hard-ass fucking world we live in. And then I don't agree with it. And so I'm using social media to change that. So in 6 months to a year, there's going to be a guy who's had his life destroyed. Just like me. He's going to be curled up in a ball on the floor, not knowing what to do, where to turn. His friends are going to be like, just bang random chicks, bro. Just deal with it, bro. Just shut the fuck up about it, bro. We don't want to hear about it, bro. And he's going to be reaching around in the darkness. And a lot of those guys find their solution at the end of a barrel of a something. And they choose the quick route, the permanent solution to a temporary problem. Because guess what? In 6 months to a year, I'm not going to be here in this state of mind. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be beaten down. I'm not going to be sad. That's not going to be me. And I know that. So I'm documenting that journey. I am showing what I had to do to get through it. I'm showing the warning signs. I'm showing the things you need to consider. I'm showing you what I've had to accomplish to get through all this shit. And hopefully my goal is that just one dude whose wife leaves him for Chad watches these videos and goes, he did it. He was able to get through it. I can too. Then all of the bullshit that I'm getting thrown at me and all of the, you shouldn't be emoting, bro. You shouldn't be talking about this shit, bro. Just go bang random chicks, bro. Go smoke some pot, bro. All that nonsense will be worth it if just one person at some point stumbles across these and becomes subscriber number 16 and says, shit, man, you did those things and got through it. I can too. Because absolutely you can. There's like what? 4 billion women on the planet. In my city alone, there are tens of thousands of gorgeous women. Do you think that I'm going to be stuck bleeding like a bleeding sheep over one for any greater length of time? And the answer to that is fuck no. Hell no. Not happening. I have to get through it though. I have to get through those issues. So men are toxic because they don't talk about their feelings. But if we talk about our feelings, we're told, shut up. No one wants to hear that shit. Okay, so this is how it goes for me, right? If this is you, if that's your opinion, great. You can either stand beside me and support me, or you can walk behind me and support me, or you can get the fuck out of the way. And that's not meant to flame you. That's not meant to attack you. That's not meant to be aggressive at you. That's just saying, I have one direction in life, and that's forward. That's been how I've been for a good chunk of my life. I sat aimless for so many years until I finally figured out who I was. And who I am is I go forward. I go forward. Now, I got comfortable. I met someone. I thought this was my one. Everything was going great. Everything flowed so awesome for a couple years. And life had to remind me, you got comfortable. Because what I should have been doing is I still should have been staying hard. I still should have been busting my ass. Yes, I had COVID. That's still great. That excuse goes about this far. Still get out there and do something. I still should have been self-improving. And maybe I was self-improving in some ways. I'm not saying I didn't totally do that. But I left a lot of deficiencies in myself. And life just basically told me, you left some deficiencies because you got comfortable. So what are you going to do about it? And I'm going to go forward. That's why I'm here. I'm here to show you that you can go forward. And if that's not a message you want to hear, awesome. But don't tell me that I can't do that. Yes, I know. If some chick finds these videos someday, I'm totally going to be single for the rest of my life, right? I've heard that one several times since it started. I don't care. Because if a woman would actually be like that, where she would see this and say, oh, God, he's emoting. Oh, he's weak. Oh, well, I don't want her in my life anyway. I don't want that person. I've had that person. I don't want that again. I'm not ready. I'm not looking for another round of this. No. So good. That person, if I'm single for the rest of my life, fucking good. Because there's other things in life that matter more than if you're lonely or not. It's your purpose. Your purpose is more important. You follow your purpose. Okay? So that's why I do this. And the next time I ask in a comment, leave your comments below what you think of this video. And your answer is something to the extent of, dude, you're still emoting over this. You should be over it by now. Or, dude, no one wants to hear about this. You're just chasing things. Like, I didn't ask you for those opinions, and those have nothing to do with the commentary that I was asking for. So if you want to talk about it in private, you're welcome to message me in private, but don't leave public comments about stuff like that because it's off topic and it's borderline antagonistic because it has nothing to do with what I'm asking. And it's just, you're just needling and essentially saying, dude, bro, don't say things like don't emote, bro. Just go fucking into the ditch and curl up and deal with it on your own, right? I don't follow that. I don't follow that. This right here, yeah, that happens because those people didn't think that they could go talk to other people because they weren't allowed. Because, bro, go deal with it on your own. That doesn't fly with me. All right, that's done. I don't want to hear about that anymore. Leave your comments below. Now, part 2. Why am I here in the day, not working? Well, as it would turn out, life has a lot in store for me. I have a lot of lessons to learn. So last Friday, I'm on day 69. So it's Wednesday today. Last Friday, I had a very vivid pornographic dream about her with her boyfriend. And it was bad. Now, you're going to go through these moments. You're going to go through these moments. They're like waves. They're going to come at you. And, you know, the closer you are to the main event that happened, the more those waves are going to hit you. And as time goes on, they start to lessen, but they do not go away. They're going to continue to come in, maybe slower and slower until eventually they recede and go away. I am on my 3rd month of this. In a 2.5-year relationship, it's going to take me roughly 1.25 years to 1.5 years before I'm fully absolved and don't feel a sting when I see her face, okay? Roughly. Normal person, psychologically, because all these wires have to be undone, and all of the memories and stuff have to be, my brain has to handle that. Your brain has to handle the same thing when this happens. Unless you're one of those people that when you get in relationships with others, you don't really get into you don't really feel deeply for them, so you don't get hurt when they leave. Okay? Yes, that's fairly common, actually. I also believe the world is fucking broken. So I haven't achieved that point where I can just be like, I don't feel anything. I don't know that I want to do that, to be honest. Part of the good of what I'm going through is that I know I can feel even this suck, even this shit. I can feel it. And that's good. That means I'm alive. I can feel it. I can progress through it. And it's helping me. It's helping me in so many ways because it's fuel. It's fuel to help me get my physical body back on track. It's keeping my mind sharp. And it's driven me with a purpose that I got too comfortable and maybe lost. Okay, so what's this? What did life do to me now? So I told you I had this dream. I was textbook disassociative all the weekend and Monday. And what that means when you disassociate means you basically hover above your body and you're on autopilot. And it's a defense mechanism that we do to basically plod through life, and our body's intentionally numbing us. It's almost like natural antidepressants. Disassociative. You don't want to be disassociated for too long, but I barely remember those days. It's just I breathed, I ate, I did my work, and I went to bed early, and I slept a lot because that dream made me miserable. Tuesday, that was yesterday. I feel I'm coming out of it, and I did my daily stoic. We had the picture of the boxer rising up off the mat. It's a great image. You know why? Because 45 minutes later, I got laid off from my job. Yep. 45 minutes later, I got laid off from my job. So I've lost my woman and I've lost my job. 2,000 miles away from anyone I know. In the house that I bought for her. Oh, woe is me. Boo hoo. It's a double body blow. And so all I can do is go, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take everything you got and keep taking it. Keep giving it. Because as Rocky says, it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how well you can get hit and get back up and keep moving forward. and I will keep moving forward. So yeah, I got laid off. Yeah, I'm looking for a new job. What am I doing? And did I freak out and go, oh my God, what do I do? Well, number one, I was disciplined enough to make sure I have a backup plan. So I have a way to support myself without a job for a short while anyway. That's so important, guys. You need to make sure that you can survive without work for a little while, especially because economies are cyclical. They're up and they're down. And this is my third economic downturn in my career, and it's a thing, man. It happens, and what do you do? Nothing. Screaming and crying and being upset about it doesn't change anything. I will still be laid off. So you can't do anything like that. There's no point. So what am I doing? Well, number one, update the resume. Number two, get hold of my contacts, get phone numbers, start the process of trying to find a job. That is a job unto itself. But also, as I work in tech, finding where I'm deficient and taking classes. My work day is essentially sitting here doing classes right now on Angular to get my JavaScript up. And that's it. And that's what I'm going to do every day until I find another job. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to freak out. 6 months to a year from now, I want to look back on this and say, life slammed me as hard as it could, and I kept going forward. Now, context. My life's pretty good still. I have a place to live. It's 115 degrees in Phoenix, and I have air conditioning, and there's people suffering that have no air conditioning here or are homeless and are sitting outside in the sun, right? So context everything. I'm not in a war zone. My house isn't shelled. Things can always be a lot worse. So I keep that all in context. And I want you to keep that in context. If you're sitting in a situation right now where shit is just blowing up left and right, keep all this stuff in context. Keep moving forward. Just put your head down and move forward. Do not try to hide from your problems. Do not try to shove them down. Turn around and hug them. Say, oh, what a cute little demon. What a good little problem. I'm going to hug you. They don't like to be hugged. They like to jump up and down on you and punch you in the balls. They don't like to be hugged. And so you hug them until they die. The obstacle is the way. There's another one. You see a mountain in front of you? Don't go around it. Go through it. Pick the hardest path, because the hardest path is usually the right path, not the easy path. We have all these platitudes we see in movies and we see in social media memes, and yet we don't listen to them. So listen to them. When things like this, bad things like this happen, this is an opportunity. There's so many opportunities for you to grow as a person. There's so many opportunities for you to flourish instead of wilting and choosing the permanent option to a temporary problem. So, thank you for watching. Leave a comment. Just make sure that, of course, that it's pertinent to what I asked or talked about in this. Again, if you have my personal information and you want to talk about anything I posted, you are more than welcome to contact me. I love conversation. We have the Discord conversation happening tonight on the flag. So if you want to be a part of that, please send me a message and I'll be happy to get you that link. In fact, I'll leave a link to the Discord in this video and you can join the conversation and give us your input, because that's how we grow. We grow from listening to multiple perspectives and being able to reason multiple perspectives instead of shutting down things that we don't want to hear, which is a rare thing today. So, till next time, I will see you later.